In this video, I demonstrate a worry-free way for one to plant carnivorous plants. It is generally suggested that one use a regular plastic pot set in a tray of water to sustain the life of a carnivorous plant. This method, however, requires constantly adding water to the tray to replace what evaporates. And it also provides the perfect breeding ground for mosquitoes. Employing this tray method means one has to purchase distilled water or collect rainwater, both of which are unnecessary and more work than needed. The collection of rainwater also increases the numbers of the spawnings of the Minnesotan state bird, the mosquito. To successfully grow a carnivorous plant, it is recommended to use a plastic pot as shown on the right, and not a clay pot as shown on the left. It is also not recommended to use pots like these because they have holes. There are a mere few items needed for this project only. The first thing one will need is sphagnum peat moss to serve as a growing medium. One also needs to have a carnivorous plant they wish to plant. Here is a close-up of the sundew that will be planted. One also needs a pot that holds water. If there isn't one available, then one can patch the holes in the bottom with silicone caulk. For demonstration, a clear container will be used as a pot to illustrate the effectivity of this system. Also needed is a drill with a drill bit. The bit should be around 1/8 to 1/4 inches in diameter. Don't forget to have some rain or distilled water on hand to water right after planting. Afterwards, you can simply let the rain take care of the waterings. The first step is to drill a hole in the container about 2 to 4 inches from the bottom, depending on the depth of the container. For a larger container, one can drill a second hole. Now when one fills the pot with water, it doesn't rise all the way to the top to drown out the rhizome of the plant. In essence, you have a cistern without the high maintenance of an unsightly tray of water beneath. After having drilled the hole, the next step is to add the sphagnum peat moss to the container. After an adequate amount of sphagnum peat moss has been added, one can then plant the carnivorous plant. The next step is to water the plant. Notice how the excess water goes out the hole and thus doesn't rise all the way to the top. Since the sphagnum peat moss acts like a sponge, it stays moist, keeping the plant happy. Unlike the traditional tray method demonstrated earlier, evaporation is kept at a minimum. Place your plant in a location suitable for its growing needs. For most North American carnivorous plants, this means that you can keep them outside in a sunny location. They will go dormant in the winter and re-emerge next spring, providing you with years of enjoyment. I hope you found this video useful. Happy planting!